Hello, hello, hello. Selamat sore, selamat pagi, selamat malam di mana Anda berada. Ketemu saya, Andryaas Mamuaya, dan kita live event lagi. Dan hari ini saya kedatangan seorang guest speaker, teman saya yang luar biasa, Friska Wirya, dan kita berada di zona waktu yang berbeda. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your join with us today. So we have our guest speaker, Friska Wirya from Australia. And ya, saya akan berbicara bahasa dan bahasa Inggris campur nanti juga Friska juga ya. Dan kita langsung aja malam ini, di sana malam, kalau di sini sore, kita akan sedikit mengenal siapa Friska. Dan topik hari ini kita akan bicara juga nggak terlalu banyak ya tentang mastering change in the modern world. Bagaimana kita menguasai perubahan di dunia yang semakin modern ini ya. Oke, nggak lama-lama saya akan panggil di sini Friska. Friska, are you ready? Thumb ups, are you ready? Ya, oke. Yes. Hello, Friska. Hi.
Hi everybody.
How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Okay. Yes. So Friska, we have been in the LinkedIn for I don't know how long. You are my first connection, and one time you pop up with your post, is great post, and then I have to do something, right? I have to comment your post.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, what time is it now in Australia?
Sekarang jam 7 malam.
7 malam. Oh,
Ya.
yes. Kita beda 3 jam ya.
Ya.
Oh, nggak terlalu malam lah ya. Aku pikir tadi jam
Enggak.
9 malam.
Oh, enggak apa-apa.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Friska, so we will do a quick engagement with the audience. Let me
Yeah.
share. Yeah. So Friska is the I call it is the shift resistant into resilience result and ROI top 50 change management tough leader and TEDx speaker as well as a digital transformation. Okay, so Friska will tell you later on. So let me go first the next slide. Okay, so teman-teman kita networking dulu. So please sebutkan nama dan di mana Anda berada dan ajak terkoneksi juga teman-teman Anda yang ada di sini ya untuk engagement. Tag teman-teman Anda di sini, sebutkan nama dan di mana Anda berada. So let's see here we have Ahmad Nakwan, hello. And then someone from Turkey. We
Wah, gila
cannot
jauh
see the
banget.
name. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so let me introduce myself. My name is Andryaas Mamuaya, and I'm a professional project manager. I'm still working, Friska, still 9 5, but I do these things because I love to network. I
That's
love
good.
to
Yeah.
meet new
Yeah.
people. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a LinkedIn since 2007. Thank you. So and then please also follow and ring the bells. Let's Friska introduce yourself, please.
Hi, everybody. I'm a change management consultant, speaker, trainer, and facilitator. So I'm predominantly based in Sydney, also in Melbourne quite often. And I've been on LinkedIn for a while, but I have only been active for the past 3 years because that's when I started my business. And that's how I got connected to you, Andreas. I'm not sure how, but yeah, LinkedIn is a great tool. I'm also a big believer in networking because it only takes one person, like one person to open the right door, one person to make you a referral, one person to kind of put you forward, and that'll kind of change the entire trajectory of your business. And that's what's happened to me. So my followers grew from 5,000 to 48,000 very fast because when you think about it, there's about 800 million users on LinkedIn, but
Wow.
less than 1% of those users are active and share their thought leadership and proactively connect with people. So, it's not hard to kind of bubble up to the top and get the visibility that you want in your industry.
Cool, cool, cool. So Friska, I want to show you my t-shirt here.
Oh, keren sekali. Okay, you're gonna send me one? Ayo ukuran extra small.
Oh, yeah. So this is my name. So I'm the 1% of the LinkedIn, I believe.
Nice, nice.
Okay. So Friska, can you speak in bahasa?
Sedikit
The one
bisa.
that you told before, yeah?
Ya, sedikit.
Try it.
Wah, try apa? Mau coba
Translate in
apa?
bahasa.
Translate in bahasa. Aduh, saya ini juga percaya atas apa, power, bahasa Indonya apa ya? Kekuatan LinkedIn. Soalnya
Kekuatan ya.
network itu ya, soalnya cuman perlu satu orang yang bukain pintu yang tepat, satu orang yang kasih like give you a chance, satu orang yang introduce you to a whole bunch of other people. So nggak susah gitu buat benar-benar develop relationships and elevate your reputation online, because there's so many people, banyak banget user di LinkedIn tapi yang aktif itu sedikit sekali. So yeah, so start to
Ya,
be more active on the platform.
yes.
Hmm.
Oke, saya percaya juga bahwa kesempatan itu datang nanti dibukain pintu oleh satu orang. Meskipun kita berteman dengan banyak orang, betul ya?
Yeah, yeah.
Oke, ya. Thank you, Friska. So let me see my. Okay, let's see here someone from Bali, Jeroen van der Werf. How are you?
Oh, nice.
Hi, Jeroen.
Juga sering ke Bali.
Sering ke Bali juga ya? Oke.
Ya, 4 kali setahun kali ya?
Wow.
Mhm.
Oke. Kemana kalau ke Bali? Ke Canggu ya?
Enggak, aduh, paling paling ogah ke Canggu, biasanya Ubud ya.
Ubud.
Ya,
Oke,
Canggu
oke.
keramaian.
Crowded ya.
Iya.
Sudah crowded. Right. Okay, let's see my screen here. So, okay. So, guys, we have a four question for Friska. So, we go direct to the first question here. Friska, so we are talking about the what is it called the mastering change
Mmm,
in the modern world. So, the first question for you is what inspired you to become a change management tough leader?
thought leader, ya. So, jawabannya ini ada 2 bagian ya. So, yang pertama, what inspired me to get into change management in the first place, so that industry, bosen. So, I was in general management consulting, waktu itu saya udah selesai kuliah, udah selesai master, and I thought I wanted to become a career management consultant that just hacked problems for Fortune 500 clients, and I got really bored of it. Kayaknya setiap project itu rata-rata sama. Terus setelah saya kuliah di Amerika, dapat beasiswa, setelah 4 tahun di situ saya balik lagi ke Australia. Terus pas balik lagi ke Australia, change management itu baru baru awalnya di-recognize, and it
Hmm.
intrigued me. It played to my strengths, so I'm very good at communicating, very good at developing trust and rapport. I'm easily able to relate to people, and I have a very high EQ, emotional intelligence. Jadi
Okay.
saya pikir, "Oh, ini interesting. I wanna know more about it," you know? So I took a risk. I took a 40% pay cut, 40%, to start from nothing, start as a change analyst, and just work my way up with laser-like focus, and unshakable determination. And since then, I've done change projects of all shapes and sizes, merger dan akuisisi, digital transformasi, perubahan organisasi budaya, like lots of different changes. And fast forward 7 years later, I was the youngest GM of change for the biggest gold miner in the Southern Hemisphere. So it seems like it's an overnight success, but it wasn't. So I've done the hard yards. I've done, worked all around the world for some of the biggest companies in mining, engineering, and technology. So that's the first part of the question. The second part is
Okay.
very different. Why did I decide to become a change management thought leader? So, a thought leader is a trusted person in that
Yeah.
space. And so I was sick of the myths surrounding what a change manager does, what does good look like, what does bad look like. And you would have heard many people on this call, lots of people describe change as communications and training, but it's so much more than that. It's the strategic and intentional reprogramming and unlearning of behaviors and mindsets that no longer benefit an individual. So, lucky or unlucky, I started my business November 2019. So
Mhm.
setelah I left the 9 to 5, terus saya pikir kalau nggak coba sekarang, kapan gitu.
Yeah.
So I decided to start consulting independently. Terus 2-3 bulan lagi, pandemi, COVID, border tutup semua. And
Yeah.
so it depends if you see the glass as half full or half empty. So the border shut, my entire pipeline disappeared. People weren't spending money on consultants because they were scared. But everybody is at home, everybody's bored, everybody's on their laptops, everybody's online. So it was a really great opportunity to start establishing myself and sharing my thought leadership with the world. And that's really, it was a blessing, but it was also a curse. So I started to intentionally cultivate a space for myself in that industry. And it was a great business card, right? COVID-19 was a
Oh,
great business card for change because
yes.
everything changed. How we worked, how we lived, how we parented, how we related to each other. So, every expert started from somewhere, and I simply started sharing what I knew. That's all I did.
Because you have already studied that one, right? Before the
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I've been in change for udah 10 tahun ini, and I simply just started sharing what I knew. Like, this is what works, this is what doesn't work. And fast forward, 2 years later, I've won 6 business awards in 2 years. I'm invited to speak all around the world. I have great clients, opportunities come my way. So the same skills I use to get people to embrace change in large organizations, I've simply applied to my own life, to my own business. So I've been very disciplined.
Okay. Right. So Friska, it's interesting about the change management. So you say that the COVID is once the COVID there, so everybody will what is it? Just starting, but you have already in your hand about this skill, right? So uh, I have a one question, simple question. What is
Mm.
this? What is the difference between the change management and the risk management?
So the change management
Change management
is,
and risk management.
yeah. So managing change means you're trying to move from A to B. You're trying to change someone's behavior, someone's mindset, someone's opinion. So that's very different to risk management, where it's just simply a risk. Not all changes bring risk, if that makes sense.
Is that something like
So change
change
management is
management is
more about the
already happened?
psychological response. No, it's more about the
Oh,
psychological response. Yeah.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So a risk is different from an issue. A risk means it hasn't happened yet. You're just
yes.
protecting it from happening, correct? So with the change management, it's the opposite. You're trying to make something happen. So one is you're trying to make something happen. Risk management, you're trying to prevent something from happening. So
So is it in basically change management something that is a reactive thing, and the risk management is a what is it called, something that
proactive versus
preventive,
reactive.
corrective. Yeah. Okay.
Not necessarily. So at the end of the day, change management is about individuals. It's about moving them from anger, denial, pushback, and resistance towards acceptance and understanding. So change management deals with people, whereas risk management could be economic risk, it could be financial
Mhm.
risk, it could be geopolitical risk. So one's dealing with people at an individual level, and one is more macro.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Friska. So we don't want to go too deep, right? Okay.
Mm.
So yeah, we have here Season Tyree greeting from Melbourne, Australia. Hi, Season. And then Jeroen, Jeroen, we are good here. Sedikit Balinese. Okay, so I don't know what happened. Why is it repeating? What is the repeating one? Okay, anyway, thank you, Friska. So we go to the second question. How do you define resilience, and what strategies do you use to shift resistance into resilience?
Mm. So the textbook dictionary definition of resilience is very accurate. It's the capacity to withstand or recover quickly from difficulties, from toughness.
Mhm.
So it's the ability of a substance or object to spring back into shape. And that's the same with organizations. When it's faced with difficulty, disruption, uncertainty, turmoil, resilience is what helps an organization get back on its feet. So get back to profitability, get back to performance, get back to productivity. And the strategies that you use to shift resistance into resilience, number one, it sounds really obvious, but no one does it: direct communication. So you'll be surprised how many leaders don't do this. Like, they don't engage their team directly, they don't tell them what's going on. So no communication is worse than bad communication, because if you don't communicate, people think worst case scenario and they'll make stuff up, and the rumor will go overdrive. The second is probably involvement and co-creation, and I'm going to use an example by Ferrari. So if you go to the Ferrari showroom here in Sydney, Terus ada kayak, it's like a game, right? It looks like a cockpit,
Hmm.
and terus you can customize your Ferrari any way you want. Warna, the leather, right? The type of wheels, your sound system, all these bits and bobs, like, and the whole process takes about 2 hours from top to
Okay.
bottom. Now, Ferrari kan mobilnya itu mahal sekali, right?
Yeah.
Now, I was curious and I asked one of the sales guys, itu berapa persen orang yang masuk customisasi ini, berapa persen back out, right? Kan often like people think at the very end udah mau taken kontrak, oh nggak jadi, batal atau
Okay.
gimana. 99% go through with it.
Okay.
99%. That is very, very high. And why? It's because we value something that we've created with our own two hands, right? Versus people that just walk into the showroom, lihat-lihat aja, maybe go for a test drive. The percent that
Mhm.
actually buy is very, very low. So
Okay.
getting somebody involved really helps. The third is edukasi, so education. People fear the unknown more than the change itself. So if you patiently explain what's changing, what's not changing, what are the impacts on the different stakeholder groups, it's gonna be very, very effective. And last but not least, choice and consequence, right? When you look at Google Maps or Waze, right, and you want to get from A to B, mereka itu they show you kayak banyak pilihan. Kalau jalan
Yeah.
kaki begini, naik sepeda begini, public transport begini, kalau nyetir begini. Same with change, right? We don't usually provide choices. Like if you choose to support, here's the benefits. If you choose to opt out, this is the impact of that. So we have to be clear on the choices of everything.
Okay. So I think I will take the last one, the
Mm.
choices. The easiest one, right? I can choice. I can choose.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, right. So good. So actually, yeah. So we go for the next question. Thank you, Friska. So yeah, a lot of people now is talk about the resilience also in Indonesia. So I see the LinkedIn Audio Live. They talk about the
Yeah.
resilience, and this is very interesting. People talking, but sometimes they don't know how to. What is the strategy? How to shift? Yeah, how to
Yeah.
shift resistance into resilience. Just talking. So it's good. So everyone. So my audience, if you want, if you see this event, so you can follow Friska and then see what is the content and the post. Right. The next question, the last two question. So this is the okay. Let's see. Can you share an example of a particularly challenging change management project you have worked on and how you have to navigate it successfully? Just sample, one sample.
Uh, they've all been really hard, but believe it or not, yang paling susah bukan yang paling gede, orangnya
Mhm.
sedikit, palingan 600 orang, terus perubahannya kita, mau relokasi dari building yang udah tua, udah kuno, tapi
Okay.
lokasinya strategis banget di tengah-tengah kota. Dan building baru itu lumayan jauh, 40 menit dari kota, terus because itu areanya lumayan baru, nggak ada
Mhm.
infrastructure. Jadi bis bis sedikit, kereta
Oh,
sedikit. Jadi orang musti nyetir dan gara-gara jauh, kadang itu jarak ke kantornya bisa double waktunya. But it wasn't just because of the location. Banyak perubahan yang happening at the same time. Kayak CEO
yeah.
baru, terus saya itu konsultan yang kelima ya, dan yang masuk ke dalam company-nya because they were all really bad in the past. And so, yeah,
Mhm.
change management didn't have a good reputation. Terus project directornya kurang kurang experienced, yeah, and he wasn't asking the right questions and holding people accountable. So all these things accumulated, and also because telat banget proyeknya, people were making things up. People were making things
Mm.
up, lots of gossip saying, it's not safe out there. It's not safe to take the train. It's dirty. It's dangerous. Blah blah blah. So how I overcame it was a few different ways. Pertama, semua transformasi mesti disupport sama the people at the very top. Jadi CEO yang baru itu, I went out of my way to develop a close relationship to him, and help him understand how he could improve the situation. First of all, what the situation was, and really simple things that I needed him to do to help shift the needle. Nomor dua, gosipnya itu, hampir nggak bisa ke kontrol, dan because of that, I thought what better way to minimize that is to literally go there with everyone. So I contacted the transport authority, negotiated for multiple cards, and literally took 20 to 30 people with me on the train from the city to the new building. Like, kayak tour guide, tau gak sih? And because they were all quite old, they were all like late 50s, 60s, some nearly retirement age. Terus banyak banget tuh orang yang ikut saya nggak pernah naik kereta api. And so I literally had to teach them, begini caranya swipe on, begini caranya swipe off, gitu-gitu. Terus dan pas mereka nyampe di situ, mereka malah excited gitu. Buildingnya kan bagus, mewah, bersih, beda banget sama building yang lama. And so when they came back to the office, they were not as resistant as before because they'd experienced it for themselves. And there's nothing like putting someone in an immersive situation so they better understand what they're getting a hold of. So don't get me wrong, masih ada orang yang resistant, tapi mereka nggak begitu keras suaranya. So it wasn't perfect, but it helped a lot.
Oke, so ini menarik sekali ya, Friska ya. Jadi change management ini juga sampai ke sebuah, kalau saya tadi perhatikan itu sebuah habit ya, kebiasaan baru. Ya kan? Saya berpikir change management itu lebih banyak ke sebuah perubahan teknologi. Tapi ini perubahan dari semacam environment gitu ya, lokasi kerja yang baru ya. Wow, sampai segitunya ya, itu harus ada sampai harus ada konsultan seperti itu ya, Friska ya.
Yeah, well, who else is going to do it? You always need to keep your eyes on the prize. Like one person needs to be dedicated and focused. Okay, how's team B? How's team A? How's team C? What do I need to do to push them over the edge? Like you need an expert that constantly has the psychological response to change in their head and is focused on helping people move through it. Because if you leave it up to everyone else to do, it's not going to get done.
Yeah. Okay, so I can see this will be stressful as well, because you face a lot of people and they there is older people, right?
Iya, biasanya
emang older.
Lebih
banyak usia sudah mau pensiun
udah
begitu
kolot
ya.
banget, iya.
Kolot. Okay, so Friska, for one project, how long it takes usually and normally?
Oh, that's like how long is a piece of
average?
string. It's like how long it depends how many people, it depends what type of change, but I think minimum 6 months.
6 months.
Minimum
Okay.
6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so next time I will learn more about that one. So we go for the last question, Friska. So we are already almost 30 minutes. It's very quick. So yeah, the last question is, how do you see digital transformation impacting the future of change management? And what advice do you have for organizations looking to stay ahead of the curve?
I've got 3 words of wisdom. The first is the future fit organization needs to invest in connection and culture. So, in the future, we need a worker that's got not just the book smarts, but the social skills, influence, persuasion, teaching others, with processing ability, so active listening, critical thinking, reasoning, and cognitive prowess, so creativity and mathematical reasoning. So it's about balance. And too often organizations kind of focus on the hard technical skills. But, qualities such as curiosity, empathy, and sincerity, they're really sought after because the more digitized the world is, the more we're seeking that connection. And so this is critical to inspire people to embrace change and cut through the noise. So that's the first one. Number two is AQ, adaptability quotient, the ability to evolve and regenerate. You know, way back when, IQ was what we thought determined success. And then
Yes.
in the 80s, Daniel Goleman introduced the concept of emotional intelligence. And then everyone's like, oh, yes, we need emotional intelligence. But no, AQ, adaptability quotient, is really what keeps us relevant, valuable, and maintains a competitive edge. So we need to work on our adaptability muscle. So being agile,
Wow.
being nimble, being quick to respond to change, because it's not about the big beating the small anymore, but it's about the adaptive beating the ignorant, right? Like, for example, taxi. If taxis cared about their customers, had really
Mm.
good experience, were modern, were safe, were clean, would there be an Uber? I don't know. You know, like Uber wouldn't have been so successful if they were not complacent, if they were adaptable and kept up with the times. I don't think they would be an Uber. And last but not least is relationship skills. Relationship skills will rise in prominence. So there was a study by the Australian Institute of Management, and it said that as the rate of digitization increases, so more and more technology is being used, that means we need greater interpersonal connection and leaders with relationship intelligence. So, previously skills such as that were previously labeled soft, now there's a hard link to performance and profitability. So this reflects our need for belonging and connection, and that trust and transparency in working relationships will be key to getting the benefits from any digital transformation program. So there's my top three.
Okay, cool. Wow. A lot of people now may be confused, but okay, no one, no problem. They want you to spook in bahasa. Okay, anyway, that's okay. It's a nice talks with Friska today. Then yeah, so this recorded and this event will stay here for a long time, so you can just replay. And okay, Friska, so one word for the Indonesian audience. What is your suggest for my audience?
What, one word? What do you mean, one
Yeah,
word?
yeah. I mean the suggestion for how they see the change in the future. For example,
So, my suggestion on how to be ready for the future and change, it's really about um, soft skills. So, work on your reputation, work on your credibility, work on your thought leadership, because your reputation is what's going to see you through, no matter, if you're a 9 to 5, if your company goes bust, or if you hop onto another company, the stuff that you put out in the world and attribute to yourself is going to stay with you. So my tip would be to start taking control of your brand.
okay, cool, nice, thank you, Friska. So teman-teman, pesan dari Friska buat teman-teman di sini tetap menjaga selalu upgrade skill ya, terutama soft skill karena reputasi ini di sini juga penting. Kalau saya bicara reputasi di LinkedIn ini mirip, bukan mirip, saya artikan sebagai personal brand Anda juga di sini ya. Jadi itu yang akan tetap berada meskipun Anda akan banyak perubahan, mungkin berubah pekerjaan, perubahan banyak hal ya, Anda akan bisa tetap bertahan. Right, Friska, so it's nice to talk to you tonight. Okay, then we can continue engage, and it's yeah, I'm so happy to see your post. It's
Mm.
very valuable. A lot of people like and engage with your post, and yeah, keep going so that people can what is it get the value from your post. Thank you, Friska, and we see you again next time.
Yuk, makasih.
Okay,
Dah.
thank you. Okay, bye bye. Have a good night.